press the button. The pub itself is part of a chain.
Yeah.
So there are Antic own the company and the pubs,
Yes.
and they also own pubs down in Tooting Broadway, over in Balham, pretty much all over London. There's got about sort of 36 pubs at the moment that they run. So the sort of characteristics are, you can see the sort of decor and everything there's a kind of parity throughout the whole pubs. So they all have a sort of similar sort of style, but they try and retain a lot of the original features of the buildings that they occupy and turn into pubs.
Other pubs?
Yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot, because the pub's really old itself, you get a lot of locals from the pub before it was actually, before it was taken over by Antic. There's still a lot of people who've been coming here for like 80 years, 50 years. So, and then we've also got new people who are coming into the area because obviously property values have gone up, and we're getting sort of a lot of people that live around here because it's affordable at the moment. They work in the city, and obviously with the location being right by the tube station, we get a lot of people coming in after work for a drink. Yeah, there's probably a sort of local group of about sort of 50 people, I'd say, that come in quite regularly. And obviously if they have functions, birthday parties and stuff, we're allowed to book out the back room, which sort of creates a bit more of an atmosphere when they're coming in locally. If they've had their birthday party, they have quite a good rapport with the staff and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, so last year the campaign have a great success.
Yeah, I think this really helped business as well, because it got people aware that the pub was here, and I think a lot of people don't like the idea of a whole building such as this being turned into like a supermarket, like a Sainsbury's or a Tesco's, where there's plenty of those around already. And so a lot of people really got behind it and signed the petition. And obviously Sadiq Khan, the MP, was quite influential in that, in getting the process and taking it to Parliament and things like that. It's put a lot of impetus on retaining sort of buildings like this that are quite old, and they're quite. I think they're part of London and what makes it what it is, and I think it's good to retain some of that history within the pubs, especially. I think it's a lot to do with the fact that people are trying to sort of be more savvy with their money. I mean, the cost of running a pub is very high anyway at the moment, because we're sort of competing against supermarkets who sell alcohol very cheaply, whereas we have to put a massive markup on it. So it's getting more and more expensive to go out into pubs, which I think is causing a lot of pubs to close down. But saying that, running a pub on the high street, you notice the more sort of competition there is, the more difficult it is to keep going. So in some respects it's possibly good that some pubs are closing down, but in terms of the sort of community feel, I think it does detract a little bit when people aren't going out and socialising more. Like that, it's important to do things like that, get people involved with each other and talking. Or trying to get people in, like I said, with events and things like that, things that are good for the community. And also trying to sort of remain competitive with sort of the quality of your beer or your food, making sure you're providing sort of good value for money, which I think is what we try and do here. Well, a lot of it is down to Antic, who they sort of have a kind of ethos that they try and instill in all their pubs anyway. So I think this is, and it's also allowing the staff who are running the pubs or working at the pubs to sort of have their own input into how the pubs run, sort of things like music and sort of artwork or signs that are going on, even actual physical work that's going on in the pub. So a lot of the staff do that as well. So it's sort of creating a bit more of a sort of homely environment almost, like